Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whichever part of the world you are in. Welcome to the crypto market review. Just yesterday, we had done a global market review of the equity markets and also shortly followed by an India market review. Just in case you missed that, you could visit our YouTube channel, Bangalore Investors Club. Just search for that on YouTube. Look at the 2023 webinar playlist, and you're going to find everything that you are interested there. Um, this is going to be a quick review of the crypto after we did the previous review around 15th of February. Not much has really changed, so this should be short and crisp just to update on what's happening in the crypto space as we speak. Right. So starting with, of course, Bitcoin, the big daddy of it all. Almost 50, 70%, 50, I think 50, 40 to 50% of the entire market cap of the crypto space is Bitcoin only, right? So Bitcoin, after doing its lows of around 15,500 in November 22, has done an almost 60% up move in the last 3 to 4 months. And well, after breaking through very definitively all the long-term moving average in this very strong impulse move in about a week, has certainly crossed all those major resistances, taken support on the 200-day exponential moving average, as you can see, and hit a resistance of just shy of 25,000, which was also something of the August 22 high. And basically now in a sort of, consolidation rest mode. And that definitely sets the mood for the vast majority of the other credible tokens which are there. As we said in the previous webinar, that we'll be posting the link about of the previous webinar in the comments. So in case anybody would likes to review it, please do so. And we said that if Bitcoin would definitively break 25,000, 25,200, then we can expect the next move. That certainly has not happened. As a matter of fact, we have multiple highs exactly at around 25,240, 250. So that'll be a level to watch out for. Probably um, nothing of a sharp move like what happened in Jan is to be expected right now. There's also the overhang of a lot of regulatory oversight happening in the US, um, in terms of making things more difficult for the crypto space. But on the other hand, Hong Kong has gone out and mentioned very aggressively that they want to do something very proactive on the crypto side. So it's interesting how the dynamics might shift in the coming weeks and months. So some sort of that overhang of what's happening in the regulatory space in the US combined with this massive 60% move. So it's like, digestion time. The market needs to digest these moves, as we say, and then looking at the next move. So nothing in a tearing hurry. One could definitely just wait and watch. Uh, of definitely a good note is this sharp increase in volumes that was there during the up move and a clear diminishing of volumes in the sideways correction. So further up moves are most likely, as far as technicals are concerned, to be expected in the Bitcoin space. So consolidation time, nothing of urgency, can sort of wait and watch maybe for a move to happen, or start nibbling in and get in at lower levels. And as that happens, then well, just jump into it at as and when the move happens. uh, that's it for the Bitcoin space. Really nothing more, like I said. And moving on to the Ethereum space, you can see more or less exactly the same situation in the Ethereum space. We have really nothing to um, write home about, just that the levels are different. Instead of 25,000 on the Bitcoin space, we have about 1,000. Oops, just hold on. Up, there was a small power glitch and some screens got scrambled. We have a multi-screen setup. All right. So Ethereum, just the levels are different. And also, just like Bitcoin moved through all the long-term moving averages very definitively and is basically playing around with the 1600, 1650 levels. And it's just, a consolidation time again that is going on. Um, so again, wait and watch. Uh, at around 1500 1550 levels, there might be a good entry for longer term investors and traders in Ethereum to consider entering, and then just wait patiently for the breakout to happen. Moving on to BNB, um, there was a lot of drama around this BNB token. It was the SEC told Paxos, which was mining the BNB token, to stop mining, and you had this big fluctuation in that, though Binance itself does not do the mining. And then there's been some, a lot of talk about, okay, what it means and what it doesn't mean. Well, at least as far as price is concerned, nothing much has really happened. The price has very much remained constant. And as you can see, very much in the consolidation zone all the way from, you could say, August of 22 or even from May of 22. So clearly between and now the consolidation gets even narrower, as a matter of fact, between these levels of around 296 to $323 per BNB, sorry, right? Um, Again, just wait and watch. There's an excellent support at 295 for BNB, where multiple long-term moving averages converge, and a break below that could be a place to exit. And when it comes there, or we are, well, just $5-6 short of that, one could even enter if one feels that this is a good entry point. Just to point out, you can see how here multiple tops, etc., are formed, and that's where the support is, along with the long-term moving averages. So a nice support, definitively a strong support there that the BNB has. All right. Nothing definitive in a sideways move that the indicators will tell us. So really nothing much to interpret from that at all. Then we have XRP, and XRP again doing the same thing, except that it's really not moved up the way uh, Binance or Ethereum has. Still, this downtrend line all the way from April 21 has not been broken. But if all intents and purposes, well, I guess just better to wait and watch which way this will break. Either does it break down below the 0.32, 0.30 levels, or does it break out of the 0.4, 0.42 levels, right? So what does Binance, sorry, XRP do? So just a wait and watch. Um, in a sense, a little definitely technically speaking, not as well placed as the previous three, the Bitcoin, Ethereum, and BNB that we discussed, simply because the uptrend has not formed like the previous three, and neither has this downtrend line that I mentioned been, broken out of. Plus, it is below the long-term moving averages. So some bit of, strong overhang is there, but you never know. If it just breaks this, then suddenly there's going to be a lot of interest and volumes will, shoot in, and we could very quickly see XRP at 0.5. We are at 0.3, 0.37, 0.4 right now. So that's easily a 20-25% move that is possible. Of course, keep watching and enter at your risk appetite. Cardano. Um, so Cardano started its up move, not as aggressive as Bitcoin and others. Still squeezed between the long-term moving averages, unlike the other ones which are all above except XRP. So this is sort of stuck between the 200-day on top and the 150 below that, just making a, wait and watch, going sideways right now. The RSI has substantially corrected from an 80 level to a 44 level, which just makes it even better. And while it's too premature to perhaps call it that, you could even, look at, uh, let's see, a potential head and shoulder that is forming here, left shoulder, a big massive head, and a right shoulder perhaps in the making. And typical of what is there in McGee's, Bible of technical analysis, you have this final selling on high volumes, and then you have this diminished selling, which is on lower volumes, and then you have this buying in really good volumes, and this sideways move, which is right now happening. So whether this part is the right shoulder already formed, or we need some more time for the right shoulder to form and then a breakout. If this indeed turns out to be a, head and shoulder bottom, as it definitely looks as, so we're talking about from 0.25 to zero point 0.4, let's say that's a 0.15 move. That's quite substantial. We're talking about almost let's see, 60% move that has happened in Cardano. Can another 30, 40, 50% move happen? Why not? So this is also looking really well set up with Cardano. Um, could even enter now and put a stop loss at below 0.35 and just hold on tight. The big thing to watch out will be the break of zero point 0.4 and then 0.42. And once that is done, then 0.5 is very, very likely, right? Cardano, also called ADA. Dogecoin going in a triangle, and it's been doing that for quite some time. Really, again, nothing to write home about. It's just going sideways and sideways and sideways. Um, of course, a lot of people consider this to be a shit coin, and one of those things that you just don't want to touch. But in terms of what I've done is on the watch list on the right side, as you can see, the list is in sequence of the market cap of each of these tokens. So the highest market cap going to the lowest. So the first 10 is what we are basically discussing, right? So moving on to Polygon Matic. So Polygon, sort of India derived, India based. It announced layoffs for a number of their engineers, uh, citing, of course, revenue reasons and all that. So we'll just have to see how that pans out. Right now, what's very interesting in Polygon is that it has broken out of a very clear resistance level of 1.3, broken out with good volumes, as you can see, but is correcting now on lower volumes. What is a little sort of maybe a little disconcerting is the fact that it's broken down below that support level. However, I would also say that there is, this excellent support. It is sitting on at 1.19, at 1.2, and could easily, take off from there. So watch out for Polygon and what it might do. So a good retracement of that up move. And look here, just look at this part. A lot of accumulation, a lot of buying that has happened in Polygon at the zero point 0.8 to 0.96 levels. Won't be surprised if there is a quick, sharp move in Polygon in the coming 2-3 weeks, let's say, and we see a 10 to 40% move on that. So very close to good support, and at 1.2 maybe a good place. At 1, if it does come down there, I think would be an excellent place to enter if it does that. As of now, of course, like we all know, there are no guarantees in the market. Could start buying in at 1.2 and accumulate all the way to 1 if you are a longer term positional person. And if you're a trader, well, you put in your alerts and then watch your charts and then, get in and have your target and stop losses. Right. Then Solana. So Solana was sort of the bright spot in the sense that it moved really well. You're looking at the weekly chart right now, and we'd mentioned this flag on the weekly, and it broke out of the flag, but somehow not able to sustain itself above that, met resistance with this downtrend line from November 21, and is just, sticking to that at the just on its head and providing plenty of resistance. Again, typical, as you can see, textbook. These are like really textbook technical setups. Amazing volume buying, sideways consolidation moves, a flag with not a convincing breakout, but got hit by the downtrend line of about 2 years, just going sideways at around 22 on very low volumes, just at 150 and 100-day exponential moving averages. For all you know, it could just break out. The stop loss would be below 19.75, right? And as long as it doesn't break that, I think short-term trader is good, and just have to hold on. And once it breaks past 26, 27, then we are looking at much, much higher levels on Solana. Definitely at around 38 or even 40 is something that one should keep a watch out for. So Solana's sort of failed breakout is giving the correction of that is actually giving those of us who missed this a second opportunity to enter it in case you missed the first time. Dot on the US dollar. Again, nothing much. Uh, just like everything else, hit a resistance at around 7.3, 7.5, has cooled off. Again, the volume picture is typical of what we've discussed so far. Again, at the 100-day exponential moving average, sorry, the 50-day, right? And could take support there. And when it breaks 7.25, 7.5, then higher levels can be expected. And then we have Shiba Inu, right? Shiba Inu, again, the charts are all very similar. Like I said, Bitcoin set the mood for it. Now, if you look at Shiba Inu in the weekly chart, you can clearly see what in Do theory is called a pennant, right? Similar to a flag, except that it's a small triangle consisting of narrower and narrower moves, typically associated with falling volume. So it's good to see rising volume on the green candles and then diminishing volume within the pennant. And if it breaks, we're talking about a big move from 813 to 1563. That's almost a doubling. So from 1265, of course, there are a lot of zeros which I'm not reading. From 1265 to, I would say 1500 or even 1700 to maybe even 273,000 could be something to look forward to in Shiba Inu, right? So that is what is there in the top 10. Lots of opportunities, like I said, right? And something to keep a watch out on. All right, so let's very, very quickly just look at the next 10 in the by market cap and just very quickly review if there are any compelling opportunities that one can see. Well, there is LTC, Litecoin, which actually hasn't corrected, in a sense, the way the others have. It's just done a nice move up. It's going sideways, but not really any correction of any meaningful proportions. And definitely on the weekly side, on the weekly chart, you can see this very nice consolidation that's happening at 94, 95, very, very narrow flag. And I suspect that this is going to, just give another breakout and very quickly move to 100, 110, maybe even 120 and 138. So watch out for Litecoin. Looks quite compelling. Then Tron, again, let me just keep this on weekly and looking like more and more are just doing the same thing. You're seeing dojis form very tight consolidation at 0.0696, just sitting there. Does it just shoot off to 0.75 or even 0.09 in the next 2-3 weeks? Is very, very possible, I would think. Avalanche, so a flag again, in Avalanche, you're seeing more and more consolidation, what are called half mast patterns in a number of uh, the crypto stocks, especially on the weekly side. And again, at excellent support level at 17.5, sort of a psychological number plus all the long-term moving averages sitting there. So this could again boom move up. So even a 17.5 to 20 move would be really great in terms of a percentage return. Uniswap, right? Uh, Formed a base, not really moved. Again, stuck between the long-term moving averages. Really don't want. There's nothing much. I think there are better setups that we have. What Bitcoin, just typical of, just almost mirroring how Bitcoin itself looks. So don't want to spend time on this. Cosmos or Atom, again at excellent long-term moving averages. And on the weekly side, you can see how bottom left, you're seeing this resistance which is there, where if it breaks, then uh, a good up move is quite possible, right? Okay, right. There we have it. This just getting it to behave. Use the magnet off. Right. So again, consolidation at 16. 16 breaks, then 20 to 22 is a very clear possibility, right? Okay. Link, just like everything else. Again, link, you look at the weekly chart, some excellent supports and some excellent resistances, consolidation that's happening, nice base formation. Right now, is this consolidation that breaks down, or is this a consolidation that breaks out is the only question, right? So those are the levels to watch out for. 8.4 on the higher side and 5.4 on the lower side. Even a intra rectangle swing itself is several percentage points of gains possible. Crazy chart, Leo. Don't even want to comment on it. It's just there because it was there in the top 20 by market cap. Possibly that you're seeing clearly a base formation in the weekly charts, right? You have yeah, maybe just a very, very minor bullish divergence in uh, Leo right now, but nothing great or specific. This is just one lazy fall that is happening, not any persistent selling as such. And just as surprisingly, it will suddenly get buying interest and then suddenly move up. That's generally what tends to happen. Then looking at Ethereum Classic, well, definitely not doing anything close to what Ethereum is doing. Just to look at Ethereum, look at that. It's moved up, sticking there with the resistance and sort of giving a sense that it wants to break out. But Ethereum Classic, on the other hand, hasn't rallied that much, sitting there and, well, just waiting. And unlike Ethereum, it's below the long-term moving averages, while Ethereum is well above those long-term moving averages. That really does make a difference. If you just have a very programmatic way or a rule-based way, then Ethereum Classic is still in a bearish phase, while Ethereum is in a bullish phase. Now, what will pull what is the question. Lastly, Monero. Hmm, well, has Monero broken out? Very tentatively speaking, right? Maybe, and maybe it's taking, support there. Yes, it is actually, really, really taking some nice support. And at around 145, 146 could be a really great place to enter and move. Even a 150 to 187 move would be nice. And a stop loss below, I would say perhaps 139, right? Would be something nice to keep, right? So a number of cryptos are actually in some really nice setups, low risk setups, as we like to identify them, with very narrow stop losses and potentially really, really good rewards. And though we haven't really done the calculation, please do that before you enter your trade. And I wouldn't be surprised if some of the risk reward ratios are like 5:1 or even better. Then and even the absolute loss is likely to be quite narrow in almost all the setups that we discussed, right? Okay. So with that, we come to the end of this session. I hope it was fruitful and enjoyable for you. This is our contact information. Please do get in touch. Always feedback, constructive feedback is welcome. And if one is looking for any specific personalized inputs or have any collaborations that you have in mind, we definitely would look forward to hearing hearing on that from you, right? Thank you and have a great week ahead. Goodbye.